So in my previous class I explained about what the meaning of prop drilling, okay, and in that time also I explained about what the meaning of context API, okay. By using context API I send the data from parent component to child component, okay. Here I create a provider, you see that here I create a provider and I send the provider. I just create a provider here, you just see that here I create a provider, and in the C component C, here I just create a consumer and I consume the data. And here you just see that there are some multiple, due to multiple nesting there's the code is very critical and it's not clearly understandable, okay. When you pass some data, when you pass multiple state from parent component to child nth child component, in that time you have so many problems are there. So how to reduce this issue? Okay, today in this video I explain about how to reduce this type of issue, means this type of nesting issue, okay. I just completely comment out this thing, you see that I just comment out this thing, okay. I just run the command. First I just ls, then cd to my app, okay, then ls npm run dev, okay. Now my local development server are, you see that my local development server is started, okay. So please check my previous class, then you can understand properly, okay, in this class, okay. So here everything is visible, I think, okay. So now I just comment out this thing, you see that I just comment out all this code in my C component, you just see that just comment out everything, and I get the data from I get the data in the C component by in a different way, okay. So today I am going to show you how to use useContext, okay. useContext hook is there, okay, from React. Here I just import this thing, okay. useContext, use useContext useContext hook, okay. Here I use useContext hook and just tab it, okay. Now you see that here I create two parameter, okay. And for stock here you just remember, okay, here I pass two value, okay. For here I create two state, and the first user stock context and user context, just to pass two data, okay. So here also I receive two data also, stock data and user data also. So so that's why I use two attribute, const stock and const user, okay. So through stock and user I receive the data, okay, by using useContext, and I pass the stock context and user context here, and I both stock context and user context both I import this thing, okay. Here you just see that I just write it two line, okay, only two line, and I receive the data, okay. Now you just I create a paragraph. Here I just write the component C, and here stock equal to stock and user and the name, you just see that stock equal to stock equal to stock, and username equal to user.user.name, okay, user.user.age, okay. Why double user? Because here user dot, here dot user dot data, because this user contain a object, okay, object dot data. So you just see that in my previous class I explained about what the meaning of user, okay. Here inside the app.jsx, here I clearly mention, here you see that User means it's a object, user object. Okay, user dot name. Okay, user dot name and user dot age. Okay, now you just see that that's why here I write user dot name. Okay, inside the user we have user. Okay, user dot name, and inside the user dot age. Okay, now you see that how I easily get the same data. Okay, by using use context hook. Okay, use context hook easily. Okay, so context API is not required. Okay, we don't use context API, we use context use context hook. Okay, it's a React hook. I think you understand. So today I just learn. Okay, today I just explain you a new concept like useRef. Okay, today I explain you a new concept, useRef hook. Okay, it's also a React hook. Okay, so let's create a new file. Okay, here learn learn useref.jsx useref dot javascript extension JSX. Okay, so here I just create a component, React function based component. Okay, React function based component RFCE. Okay, and here I just create a empty fragment. Okay, and inside the empty fragment here learn useref. Okay, and I comment out all the code. I mention the h1 tag, and now you see that. So I install this application inside the app.jsx. Okay, and you just see that I comment out carefully. Okay, so just comment out this thing. Okay, and comment out this thing also. I don't want the stock this thing also, and it's throwing an error. Okay, I just comment out this thing, only this thing. Okay, here I don't want to provide something, and here I just simply mention the use learn use ref. Okay, where is the learn use ref? Use ref. Okay, and automatically it's imported. Okay, now you just see that when I just import this thing, automatically in useref is useref. Yeah, this one is already imported. Okay, I show you here. You see that learn useref.jsx automatically. If in your case if it's not imported, so you just import this useref component inside the app.jsx. Okay, so you just see that learn useref is visible. Okay, so what the benefit of using this type of React hook? Okay, so there are two benefits are there. The first thing is we directly interact with the DOM. DOM means document object model in JavaScript. Okay, DOM, document object model. Okay, we can directly interact with the DOM without page refreshing. Okay, without page refreshing we can directly interact, means we can edit the DOM. Okay, and the second thing is we can store the inside the useref we can store the previous concept, previous state of the data. Means if we can store the previous state of use state. Okay, means we can previous state of current state. Okay, so we can store the previous state of current state. Okay, if you don't understand when I just do practically, in that time you can understand. Okay, so two things is there. The first thing is we can directly communicate with the DOM element, and we can store the previous state of current state of current state. Okay, so now just do one thing. So let's go to the component C. Inside the component C, okay, not in the component C, here useRef is there. Okay, inside the useRef, here I create something. Okay, let's create a bottom. Here let's create a input box. Okay, here uh, input box. Okay, input tab. Okay, input, this is a input type text. Okay, and the value, here I create a name. Okay, here I create some state. Okay, so const here I create some use state. Okay, there's some name and set a name. Okay, set name, I don't want react here. Okay, here I just mention use state. Okay, use state from React. Okay, now just see that use state from React. Here I create a state. Okay, and here I pass the value. Here I just pass the value. What is the value? Name. Okay, now you just see that the default value is, the default state value is Swaraj. Okay, so here if you just want to type something, you can't type. Okay, so that's why there's some onChange, there's an onChange is there, onChange attribute is there. Okay, so here you create a onChange. Okay, onChange attribute. Okay, and here you just pass a parameter. Okay, here you pass a function. Okay, or arrow function or anything. Here I just create a arrow function, const, or here I can write a normal function like function handle change, handle input, I can write handle input. Okay, input text, handle input text, and I take a parameter e. This one is event. Okay, and set name event dot target dot value. Okay, and here I just pass this function. Okay, I just pass this function. So now I can write anything. Here you just see that now I can write anything. I just explain how the form and everything is work in another video, but you just see that when I just you follow this instruction. Okay, I take a event and event the targeted value, then I can write something. Okay, I set a name equal to this thing. Okay, here I can write anything. Okay, now you just see that here I create another bottom. Okay, now you see that here I create a bottom, and inside the bottom here reset. Okay, now you see that one reset button is there. Here I just pass the ampersand nbsp. Okay, you have a space. Okay, and here reset handle reset or anything. Reset function, I create a reset function also. Function reset, reset handle reset or anything. Handle capital R, handle reset. Okay, and I want to when someone just press the reset button, automatically it's set to empty. Okay, you see that inside the on click attribute, here I pass the handle reset. Okay, if I just press the reset, now you just see that reset button, automatically everything is cleared. Okay, now you see one thing, when I just write something here, you just see that the focus is there. Okay, focus is there, but when I just press the reset button, automatically everything is clear, but I lose the focus also. You just see that I lose the focus also. Okay, so what can I do here? If I write anything and then if I just press the reset button, in that time also my focus is, I'm not losing my focus. So what can I do? So in that scenario we can use useRef. Okay, useRef, so we can directly communicate with the DOM element. Okay, DOM element like input element. Okay, so let's discuss about what the meaning of useRef. Okay, and here I just pass the use state, and here I pass another hook useRef. Okay, useRef ref. Okay, now you see that it suggests something. I just ignore this thing. Okay, so now here I create a useref. Okay, here I create a const useref, and this one is the useref. Const input ref, I just create a input ref, and here I use the useref. Okay, you just here I create a useref. Okay, so here I pass the default value also. If I don't pass anything, that if I just console.log, I just show you what the meaning of input ref. Okay, you can write anything. Okay, here I just create console.log input ref. So input ref by default it's pointing to the current. Okay, so if I just now you just see that I just reset this thing. Now you just see that if I just inspect this page, go to the console. Now if I just refresh this page, just refresh, by default is Swaraj. I can remove it also. My default value is empty. I don't user state is empty. Okay, I just refresh. If you want, you can refresh this thing, and you just see that when I write something, now you just see that it's by default targeting to the current. Okay, here you just see that current, my input ref is current, and current is undefined. Nothing is, it automatically point to the current. Okay, when I just type something, every time my state change and the component is re-render. Okay, and in that time, every time the console.log is called. Okay, and you just see that the input ref is, pointing to the current. Okay, so inside the current we have many things are there. You just see that, but here now we don't have anything. You just see that many things are there. Now we don't set anything. So I just reset this thing. Now you see that if I just say that my useref default value is and hi. If I say that hi, so you just see that if I just refresh the page, now it's pointing to high. My current is high. Now you just see that now my current is high. Okay. If I just write something, every time the component is re-rendered due to my state is changed, so that's why high everywhere the high is there. Okay. If I just refresh this thing, now still also I lose the focus. Okay, so you see that what can I do? So here if I in this input attribute, we have some new attributes are there, new properties are there. Rep, inside the rep I just pass the input rep. Okay, just tab it. Inside the input I just pass the input rep. Okay, this one is the input rep, and here I just pass the inside the this rep attribute. Here I just pass the input rep. Okay, now you just see that when I just refresh the page, it's automatically and my default. I just remove my default value. Okay, now you just see that if I just refresh this page, it's automatically, if I just refresh this page, it's automatically, if I just write something like hi or anything, automatically it's a target to the input element. Okay, it's automatically target the input element. You just see that now it's automatically target the input element. Okay, now what can I do? It's automatically targeted to the input element. Okay, so here one on change is there, and handle input text is there. So inside the handle input text, before I set the set name, we just do one thing. I don't want to not here, not inside the handle input text, inside the reset button. First I want to, here you just see that whatever I write here, when I just press the reset button, automatically the focus, I lose the focus. So here inside the reset button, when I press the reset button, so what happen here, handle reset function is executed. Okay, so what can I do here? After you reset, just do one thing, input rep dot current dot focus. There are many things are there. When you just press dot, there are many things are there, but I want focus. Okay, FOCS focus. Now you just see that I just current dot focus, input rep dot current dot focus. Okay, I don't want to lose the focus, so that's why my current means the input box is focused. Okay, so I can directly interact with the input elements. Okay, now you just see that it's working or not. Now you just see that when I click this input box here, now the focus, you just see that the focus is there. Okay, and if I write something, still my focus is there. Now you see that when I just press the reset button, previously the focus is means I lose the focus. So now when I just click this reset button, now you see that everything is cleaned, but my focus is still there. Okay, my focus is still there. Now you see that whatever I write here, and when I press the reset button, automatically I don't lose my focus. Okay, I do not lose my focus. You see that focus is there, and you see the first benefit of using the useRef. Okay, so let's talk about the another benefit of useRef. Okay, the another benefit means we can store the previous state previous state data. Okay, we can store previous state data. Okay, so how we can store previous state data? Okay, so here I create a new state. Okay, so create a const. Here I create a const. Okay, so I can write here prev value or prev okay, prev val prev val set prev val, or yeah, I can write prev val and set prev val. Okay, you can write anything. Okay, now here prib prev and set prev val. Okay, why I use prev val? Because I want to store the previous value, means previous state value, so that's why I use prev state val. Okay, prev val. So now you see that here I create a paragraph. Okay, here I just inside outside of the, then I just create a paragraph. Okay, p tag, my previous value is, now you see that previous value is prev val. Okay, now you see that my previous value automatically when I just write something, automatically I just store the data. Now you see that when I write something, okay, so automatically my previous state is stored somewhere. Okay, and I just put I take this value and display it. Okay, now you see that when I write something here, now you see that when I write something here, automatically one handle input text is called. Okay, so where is the handle input text, and this one is the handle input text, and this handle input text is responsible for automatically it's just whatever I write there, automatically it's just change, it's add in my it's modify the, it's update the previous state. So before I update my state, so here I want to preserve my state. Okay, preserve my previous state. So here I just do one thing. Here I create another here I just do one thing. Instead of creating another state, here I can do one thing. Here I don't want the another state. Here I create a const prev. Okay, here I create a const prev. Okay, prev val. Okay, prev val useRef. Okay, so here I store the data. Okay, I store the previous value of this name. Okay, so now you just see that, now you see that prev val is there. Okay, here I want to display the here I just display the prev val. Okay, now you see that before now my prev val is there, and inside the handle input text, before I set a new set the name, here I say that my prev val dot current equal to name. Okay, prev val dot current I just set so inside the prev val it's just provide a current attribute. Okay, inside the current attribute I store my previous state. Okay, before I modify modify it. Okay, I store the previous value inside the prev dot current. Okay, so what can I do here? Prev dot current I just here I mention the prev dot current. Okay, prev prev val dot current prev val dot current. Okay, so now you see that whatever I write here, whatever I just, if you want you can refresh it also. Now you see that whatever I write here, hi, now you see that automatically it's storing. Now you see that when I write my name, Swaraj, SWARAJ, okay, so in that time J is not visible. You see that J is not visible because it store previous data. Okay, store the previous data, and you will see that when I just reset it also, my previous data is stored somewhere. Okay, so the benefit is two things. The first thing is we can directly communicate with the element. We can directly communicate with the DOM element, and we can store the previous state data, okay, inside the useRef. Okay, useRef.current. So now useRef.current. Okay, now you see that you just one bonus thing is there. So just you just go to the Chrome browser, and here you just search a React extension is there. It's a very important extension. He has it, a React Chrome extension. Okay, and you just install the React development tool, Chrome. Okay, this React developer tool. Okay, I here it's showing that I remove from Chrome because I already installed this thing. Yeah, if you don't install, then you can install this thing. Okay, after you install this thing, now you can clearly see that all my component. If you go to the here, my console is there, and here you just see that one component is there. Okay, in my when you inspect this thing, automatically this two option is showing, components and profile. Okay, here one React symbol, small React symbols are also visible. Okay, when you go to the component, you can see clearly you can see the component. Okay, inside my application, learn useRef is there. Okay, inside my application on learn useRef is there. Okay, if I comment out this thing, if I go to the app.jsx and comment out to this state, like I comment out the this previous code. Now you can see everything, and you just see that inside my component also, here you can clearly see that my provider is there, context.provider is there, and inside the context.provider another context provider is there, and here I have A component, B component, C component, everything. So you can clearly understand, you can clearly see the component. Okay, you can see the parent component and child component, because a app is the parent component, and a parent component just to provide something, and you receive this everything inside a component, and then you send the data from A to B and B to C, like that. Okay, so that's all about in this video. In future we discuss about more React concept. Okay, if you like this video, please subscribe my channel, so I have a motivation, I can create this type of content. If you have any doubt, you can comment below. Okay.